Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Will you all please rise and join Mr. Navais in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, no one has signed up for public speaking, so the first action item will be considered for approval of the minutes of the meeting held on June 14, 2016. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries unanimously. Next item is consider approval of financial reports for May 31, 2016 as submitted for file and audit. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries unanimously. I will, since I'm chair of the policy committee, I will now pass the gavel to our vice president, Dr. Paul Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item 6A, consider recommendation regarding revisions of policy title 2, employee, chapter 10, employee requirement and restrictions, section 10.007, anti-privatization policy. Ms. Hopkins, Chairman of the Committee, your recommendation.
Yes, on behalf of the unanimous recommendation of the policy committee, I move approval.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
Yes, I would yield to our attorney.
This is an item that was considered by the board on a previous occasion and was sent back to the policy committee for some clarification. The policy relates to inappropriate relationships between employees and students or minors. What we did is borrow liberally from the Texas Penal Code, which defines inappropriate relationships between adults and minors, and what you see here reflects that.
Okay, I would yield to the superintendent.
Yes, I think we highlighted this, and there's another one that you'll see in a few minutes associated with this. We believed that we had everything covered and found that we probably needed another piece in there, and that's when we asked Mr. Young to look at crafting something that would take a loophole out that we thought had been covered. So we fully recommend its approval.
Okay. On behalf of the committee, I believe it's very important that we protect the children that are entrusted to our care. We make clear with our drivers that this, and monitors, that this sort of behavior just absolutely will not be tolerated. I urge its approval.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Next item 6B, consider recommendation for revisions to policy title 2, employees chapter 10, employee requirement restrictions, section 10.008, improper gifts and solicitation. This is not the term committee, really. If you have a report or recommendation.
On behalf of the unanimous recommendation of the committee, I move its approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Second, you have a discussion on it.
Yes, I would yield to our attorney.
This is a companion policy that likewise was remanded from the board back to the committee. It relates to gifts and solicitations flowing between employees and students. The board the last time around was concerned that the policy as written was a little too strict and would prohibit things like a Christmas gift of nominal value from a parent or student to a bus driver. So we rewrote it a little bit. The flowing in the direction from the employee to the student, the prohibition is still absolute. Likewise, the prohibition on solicitation of gifts is still absolute. But on receipt of gifts, the employee is permitted to receive gifts from a student. If those gifts are of monetary value exceeding $25, then that must be reported to the employee's supervisor.
Okay, I would yield to the superintendent.
Yes, so I think we hope that this takes care of that issue at the end of school, when parents are always bringing a $5 or $10 gift card. It's not prohibited and the employee's not going to get in trouble. But if it's something more substantial, then we have a program in place that will be notified and will go up the chain so that we're aware of what's taking place to make sure there is nothing inappropriate and make a decision whether it needs to be returned. So hopefully that answers, I think. Omar, you had a couple of questions about it before, and that we believe, looking at the value, the $25 value is one that's pretty standard with a number of the school districts around in the area for a gift from a student or parent. So we selected that to recognize.
Thank you.
No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Item 7A, consider recommendation regarding deletion of policy Title II, policy employees, chapter 12, employees compensation and benefits, section 12.019, perfect attendance bonus. Is there, let's not adjourn the meeting, give a board or recommendation.
Yes, on behalf of the unanimous vote of the policy committee, I move approval. Second. And I would use Mr. Young.
We were requested to draft a policy deleting the perfect attendance bonus, leaving the ordinary attendance bonus policy in place. This policy does that.
I would then yield to the superintendent.
Yeah, I think we had discussions in a couple of board meetings. There were some folks that came and talked about the perfect attendance award. The intent of the perfect attendance awards was above and beyond the attendance bonus that we have. If we've got somebody, we were trying to be fair, if we've got somebody that's there every day, we want to incent those people. What we found is, as opposed to a motivator to do that, it became a demotivator. If someone had a death in the family, then groups started wanting there to be exceptions, and it went beyond just immediate family to others, to a number of other issues. When that took place, we just decided the best thing at this point is to delete that policy. It's a demotivator, and utilize those funds in another area. So that was our recommendation. I did receive from the association a list of things, one of the associations, a list of recommendations of changes that needed to be made, and it would have made it mirror almost exactly the existing attendance policy that we have in place. So there was no need for a perfect attendance because we've got the other.
And I would add that when we try something and it doesn't work, we listen, right? We change.
Right.
So this takes care of it. And it's not that we're being stingy. We're redirecting the money that would have otherwise gone to this under its old form to what we're doing in this budget, which is the guaranteed minimum 30-hour week. And that gets it. Our newest drivers are the ones that get the lowest, the shortest routes. If you're gonna, it's a much better deal if we make sure we guarantee these folks at least 30 hours each week. So I would recommend approval of this change.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Item 7B, consider recommendation of board education policy Title II, employees, chapter 12, employees compensation and benefits, section 12.020, minimum 3-hour work week.
Yeah, on behalf of the committee, We have nothing to do today. The committee tabled it at the request of the superintendent to do more research, so we'll take this up at the next meeting.
Item,
Point of information.
Sure.
Will the minutes reflect that this is 7B in the board?
The board has nothing to vote on.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it was 7A.
Oh, the board, you're,
Yeah.
clerical.
Just a typographical.
I've got it there. Yes, it would be correct.
it's in the minutes.
Thank you.
Item 7C, consider recommendation regarding deletion of policy 2, employees chapter 14, employee standard of conduct, section 14.0112, emergency 911 cell phone. Ms. Duncan, give her report.
Yes, on behalf of the policy committee's unanimous vote, I move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Duncan,
Yes, first I will yield to the attorney.
The explanation for this policy change is very simple. We have a 911 emergency cell phone policy. We no longer have 911 emergency cell phones.
I will now yield to the superintendent.
So it's a cleanup of a policy from years past when we had those. Obviously, we have other capabilities, radio systems, et cetera, in place now that handle those types of issues.
To put this in the historical perspective, it's important for all kinds of contingencies. Student gets sick, accident, behavioral problem, that the driver be able to be in instant communication to get help. Back in the days that this policy was enacted, the bus was not capable of that. So we provided cell phones for every driver to use to either dial dispatch for help or dial 911. We have since improved the safety through our student safety program. Our buses now have instant communication from verbal from the driver to dispatch. It has a panic button. It has 3 cameras inside the bus where we can monitor any situation and our police department can take whatever remedial action is necessary. So our technology, our program, has supplanted the need of, I think they were flip phones back in the day. And we've improved student safety immeasurably. So given all of that, I would recommend that we enact this policy. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. I pass it back over to the president. Ms. Duncan.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman. The next item is consider recommendations regarding the 2016 tax rate and possible scheduling of public hearings regarding the 2016 tax rate. And I will call upon the chair of that committee, Dr. Freeman.
I'm going to yield and give it to, okay, perhaps Mr. Committee, Budget Finance Committee, I move that the budget consider the property tax rate be increased by adoption of the tax rate of .01 per $100 valuation, which affect a 7.86% increase in the tax rate is scheduled for the period of August 23rd and August 25th at 1 p.m.
Okay. Mr. Attorney, do you have anything for this?
No, the tax code has certain procedures to be followed, and we've consulted with the superintendent, and everything's being done as it should.
Thank you. Dr. Soros.
Yeah, and what this does is this provides the opportunity for the board to discuss doing something greater than the effective tax rate. In Rick's terms, this is not the legal terms, but the effective tax rate generates the same amount of tax dollars as the previous year. So if you want to consider doing something other than that, then the law and statute requires that you provide a motion and that you provide 2 tax rate hearings so that people can come and discuss that, and then ultimately the board makes that final decision as to what tax rate they set after those hearings and receiving that input. So this is the process we go through every year, and we recommend that we follow that process, and of course, a majority of that is in statute that's required.
Dr. Sorrell, is the rate the same this year as last year?
The actual tax rate,
Yes,
the tax rate would be the same. The tax rate is 1 penny per $100 valuation, and that's the proposed tax rate in this is 1 penny per $100 valuation.
So any difference would be accounted for by an increase in the appraised tax property value.
And that's correct. And additions of commercial and/or residential property. Mr. Young, I believe that's correct. Addition of those properties as well as any reappraisals.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries unanimously. The next item, Mr. Young or Dr. Sorrells, do either of you have anything for legal in executive session?
Mr. Chair, we've got.
Oh, I stand corrected. Thank you. The next item is consider designation of Texas Association of School Boards as the official delegates. As president, I nominate Dr. Paul Freeman to be our delegate.
And
I call on Mr. Narvaez.
I would second that motion that we continue.
You make the motion.
I'm sorry. I'm making the motion that we send back Dr. Freeman to be our delegate to represent us at TASB. He's done a phenomenal job over the last year, and I believe that he deserves to continue to represent us.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? Not all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries unanimously. I also nominate as president Dr. Carl Renard as our alternate delegate. Is there a motion?
I move that we accept that nomination alternate to the TASB Convention as a TASB alternate, Dr. Carl.
Thank you. Okay. There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries unanimously. Now, Mr. Attorney, do you have anything for executive session?
Yes, sir, I think we do.
Okay. Executive session will be held for the purposes permitted by Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.001, etc., including but not limited to .071, .072, and .074. We will be discussing the items relating to the matters listed in the agenda, and we will make no decision pursuant to the Open Meetings Act.